Hi everyone, welcome to Open Techno. Today's video is special because winter and the cold weather have arrived. And Harto has sent us an electric blanket. A blanket that, well, a type of blanket that I had absolutely never tried before. It's, well, what you're seeing here, a blanket. The typical one we usually have on the bed for when it's especially cold. The one we usually have on the couch for when we're watching, for example, a movie and we're cold. But the difference is that this one is electric, it's heated from the inside by, let's say, a type of heating element. I'll later explain that it's going to be a very special material. I'll discuss it in this video. I can't really tell you much more than that. It's a blanket that helps us keep warm, but it does have some little details, you know? If you want to compare it with other models you find on the market, then let this video help you. First of all, unboxing, something that Jarto has been especially interested in making a good experience. Right? I am showing you some shots right now because I couldn't do it in real time at the moment. We get a box that we open with magnets. Honestly, that's already pretty cool. The first thing we find is a card where we can see what kind of material this electric blanket is made of. It's made of a material they call Apalos Flex HT, which is fire resistant. It weighs very little, it's super light. So you'll see that really, if you didn't pay attention, the blanket would look like a completely normal blanket. We also have high durability. What will this be useful for? Well, hey, so that if we fold it, as you can see, for example, you can fold the material, well, hey, it's typical with the blanket that we want to store it in a drawer, so the material inside doesn't break and it keeps heating evenly and throughout the whole blanket. Then, of course, this material is good for very cold climates and it has a special hygienic feature that bacteria can't get through it. Anyway, the Apalos Flex HT, as they call it, is a material they've managed to put into this blanket, which is very interesting to make it heatable. But now I'm going to tell you, besides what comes in the box. Besides the blanket, we also get this little cover, which is really nice. To store the blanket in a closet and keep it put away, for example, in the summer. Or even to be able to carry it if we want to take it with us on a trip. Well, hey, with this little backpack, we could take it with us without getting the blanket dirty along the way. We also get a remote control, which we can use to connect it via Bluetooth. It connects via USB-C and will control both turning the blanket on and off. For example, if we want more temperature, less temperature, or to set how many hours we want it to stay on, like 2, 4, 6 hours or whatever, so it lasts, for example, until midnight. Lastly, we get a power adapter that we will later connect to one of the corners. Let's see if I can find it now, where the power button is located. As I was saying, on one of the corners, you'll have this little button, which is basically what we'll use to turn the blanket on and off. So, on the back side, you'll find a zipper. If we open this zipper, we'll find that there's a connector inside. That's what you would plug into the power adapter, which would then go to the electrical outlet. Many of you might be wondering, right? But if this blanket is electric, can't it be washed? Well, yes, it can be washed. We can do it by putting this connector back into the blanket. We close it tightly with the zipper, and we could put it in a normal wash in the washing machine, just like we would wash any other blanket. Don't worry, nothing will happen to it. However, it's best not to overdo it. But hey, if it got dirty, if you have an animal on top and well, I don't know, it got stained with whatever drool or any kind of thing. Well, just so you know, you can rinse it off or put it completely in the washing machine. Then many of you might wonder, just like I did when they sent me this blanket to try out. What happens if, for example, an animal bites the blanket? Will it get electrocuted because it's plugged in? No, it won't get electrocuted. There are a few things here. The blanket works with a current of 24 volts. 24 volts is generally not a high enough voltage to be harmful to health. It would be like a truck battery or similar, which work at 24 volts, or a couple of batteries. After all, the electric current won't provide us with that type of power directly. So don't worry, because of course it also has electronics to protect against overheating, short circuits, well, absolutely everything to make sure this blanket is safe, so don't worry about that. Even if an animal bites it while it's working, you should know that nothing will happen, okay? There are several important things here now. How big is the blanket? Well, it has a length of 150 centimeters or about 1.5 meters and about 130 centimeters wide or 1 meter and 30 centimeters. It's a blanket that will even work for fairly large beds. As you can see, one person can use it. Because I almost disappear from the image, one person can use it. So if you're watching a series or a movie on the couch, you can put it over yourself and it will work for one person or even two, although you'll have to put it horizontally. However, as I said, it will work for large beds when you're lying down. And one really great thing about the material I mentioned earlier, Palos Flex HT, is that it distributes heat really well. Also, it heats up very quickly. I mean, when we connect the charger, which I have here, to the blanket, it will take about a minute or so to heat up. It heats absolutely every area of the blanket evenly, even up to the very last corner. Something that I think is really great is also that the material gives off a lot of warmth. It's that typical velvety blanket material, which I love. It makes it super cozy and really soft. It feels nice when it touches your skin, because for me it's really satisfying. The material is really good, and that makes it distribute the heat really well all the way to the very last corner. And hey, you have 6 temperature levels. You have from 35 degrees up to 55 degrees that this blanket can reach. So the first or second level already seem more than enough to me to keep that cozy warmth at night and so on. But hey, if you're, I imagine, in a country house with a lot of cold outside and you want to be in a warm atmosphere, you can set it higher to 40 something or 50 degrees and you'll be nice and warm. I'm telling you, because it's super fast at heating up and then it maintains the temperature really well. You can know the temperature from the blanket itself by the colors. You can see that the button lights up in several colors: purple, green, pink, blue, orange, or red, depending on the temperature we want. And hey, I'm talking about having it connected while we sleep at night. You might wonder if this will consume as much energy as the heater and if you should just use the heater instead. Well, no, this uses very little energy. Just so you get an idea, it has a maximum consumption of 70 watts, which is actually a low number. I mean, a heater or an electric radiator will use around 2000 watts. This one uses practically nothing. Just so you get an idea, during a whole night, running at full power the entire time, one night could cost you about 6 or 7 cents, depending on your electricity rate, but I'm telling you, it's an insignificant amount of consumption. But hey, Jarto is a brand that just recently started making products. They're still just getting started in this field. And look, I found a couple of issues which I've already told them about so they can fix them soon, and that way the products you get will be improved. It's a brand that's putting in a lot of effort and really wants to improve their products. Congratulations to them. I sincerely hope things go really well for them because they're creating an excellent product. The 2 issues I've encountered with this blanket involve the charger. Firstly, the charger cable is short, only about 1 meter in length. If you're on the couch, you'll likely need a power strip or extension cord, since outlets are rarely right next to you. I've informed them that the cable should be about 2 to 3 meters longer, which I think would be ideal. And the second thing is that the connection to the blanket is a bit unstable. Therefore, if you don't put some tape on it right now, with movement, it comes loose easily. But I've already informed the team at HARTO about these 2 issues and they're aware of them. Are the models you're getting going to come with this modification already? Done? A perfect product. I really loved it. I had never considered having an electric blanket, but it makes everything super easy. Because when we're cold, we just plug it in and we don't even have to wait for our own body heat to warm us up. It takes less than a minute to reach the right temperature. I don't want to end the video because I'm really cozy and don't feel like getting up. But hey, if you have any questions about the Harto electric blanket, you can leave them below in the comments and I'll answer you as soon as I can. I don't want to end the video, but it must be done. What's the price of this Harto electric blanket? Well, right now the price, unless it changes when we publish the video, is around 440 euros on the official website. So hey, if you're interested, if you want to stay warm this winter, the next one, and all the ones to come, well hey, it's a product that's really worth it because it will last you a long time. It's really super comfortable, super warm, and I've already told you that I loved it. I mean, I really loved it. Even during times of high electricity costs, this will barely increase your electricity bill. So I hope you found this product interesting and liked it. If so, leave a like and see you in the next video. Goodbye.